You know the words. Let's get this party started. All right. So I'm glad to see that my title of the workout tonight didn't scare everyone away with the title of This is Intense. Earl wrote me and he was like, oh no, he was afraid. But I assured him that the intensity is the intensity that you choose. So we all know what intensities we can manage. So tonight is one of those times where you get to determine to what intensity you want to go. So this is kind of, we're going to work like a time ladder, but part of that time ladder is going to help you to learn to pace, but also if you really want to go for it and push yourself as hard as you can, you have an opportunity to do that too. So you know the drill to start. Have your full water bottle in your cage, fan close by with your towel, because this one's probably going to make you sweat. And you're going to definitely have, right now, your bike in your smallest gear and in your small ring in the front, easiest gear in the back. Just let your legs spin, get us warmed up. And I'm sure it seems a couple of you have been on for a little while. So it seems as if you've warmed up maybe a little longer. Typically, I do a 5-minute warm up here. In reality, I would do 10 minutes. But that 10 minutes, part of that 5, I'm literally talking to you. So it looks as if maybe, Susan, you might be not muted. So if you can mute yourself, that would be great. I don't know how. There you go. Then we won't have to hear any noises that may happen in your house that you don't want us to hear. So our warm-up for tonight, as you know, we do this nice and easy for 5 to 10. Then we go into that first 5 minutes of an opener just to get the legs going. And this is also kind of reflective of how the workout's going to go. So the warm-up will feel a little bit in a smaller scale of what the main set is going to be. So for the main set, just be conscientious of the longest period of time that you're going to have to do an intense effort is 5 minutes. And I know you guys can totally handle that. So don't be afraid. This is going to be a long, drawn out kind of intensity. It's going to be one that is manageable, as I said, to what you feel like you can manage. This is the winter. And I say this to many of my athletes. You don't need to be fit in the winter. We're not riding outside as much, if any. This is a time to work on your form. It's time to work on some base miles with a little bit of intensity like tonight. And it's also time to maybe do some different things too. If you feel like you want to try something new, not a bad time to do it. Maybe go hiking instead of trying to go for a bike ride since it's too cold. It's always nice. Randy and I went hiking last weekend when it was snowing, and it was so nice. It was so fun to just challenge. I said to him, the cool part about hiking in the snow is it forces your legs to move all around. So you're building the ligaments, tendons, every muscle, because you're moving differently. So keep that in mind. All right, as we start, The way this is going to go, you're going to do 5 minutes. The first one's going to be a 15-second hard effort, followed by 45 easy. Then 30, 30, then 45, 15. And then the last one is a whole minute's worth of kind of pushing yourself. I want you to try to hold 90 cadence plus for each of these. And I want you to stay in your small ring and be around your 18. So think about it. If it's 25 at the top, 25, 23, 21, 19, 18. If that's a little too much of a gear, shift it up a little more, but just give me your all out. So go ahead and shift to that gear about 4 down. 15 seconds hard. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Push it here. Don't slack. Really get the body starting to get warmed up. This should make the legs burn. 3, 2. Nice easy gear. Spin the legs. Keep the cadence high. Try to stay between 90 and 100. We don't want it to be too easy. The gearing's making it easy, but we want the effort to still get your heart rate and your lungs starting to get some air in them. You might feel a little breathless. That's okay. Just the body saying, all right, time to start working out. Down to that gear. This time 30. 3, 2, 1, let's go. 30 seconds. Really give it an effort. Concentrate on your form. All about the legs. They are working the hardest today. 5, 3, 2, 1. Shorter recovery. Only 30. After that one, 45 seconds worth of effort. Same gearing for each one of these. See if you can hold the same cadence, same power. Find that gear. 3, 2, let's go. 45 seconds. If you shifted to the wrong gear like I did, just make it right. Keep the cadence high. Gonna need that fan tonight. It's a lot warmer outside. 30 down. Hold it to the end. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Easy. Only 15. Now we're actually going to go back down. Find that gear. 30 seconds. 3, 2, let's go. 30, it'll feel like nothing now. Legs should be starting to find their place. 3, 2, easy gear for 30. The last one will be 15. You should know the gearing and the cadence and the effort level at this point. Find that gear. Last time, 15, let's go. Bringing it up. Three, two. To that easy gear. Finish up the minute. So we get to the main set. Patience. Knowing how to pace yourself. But forcing yourself to go a little bit harder than you think you might want to. 3, 2, 1. Okay, nice and easy. Take a drink. Now here's how this is going to go. It looks almost exactly like what we just did. But it's going to go 1 minute of intensity, 1 minute easy. 2 minutes with 1 minute easy. 3, 4, 5. Then back down, 4, 3, 2, 1. The way each of those should go. With each minute, so let's take the 4-minute effort. The first minute, you're like feeling good. You could hold this forever. Second minute gets a little more intense. Third minute gets even more intense. Last minute is the highest intensity you can hold. So now you can see where you need to pace. You need to be able to hold the effort for the duration. I'm going to give you lots of freedom in terms of gearing. So I'm going to tell you small ring or big ring. You get to decide what you want. All I want you to try to do is start no lower than an 80 cadence and build as you go. So you can use your cadence and your power if you have it, and your rate of perceived exertion to determine the intensity. So the first one, it's 1 minute. You pick the gear, small ring, for a solid minute. I want you to give me a good, strong effort. So find your gear. You might want to pick the same gear that we had for the warm-up. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Give me a good, strong minute. Cadence should be high at this point, 90 plus. Don't hold back here. Start strong, and we're going to build it from there. When you get to a 5-minute effort, it's going to go a little differently. 30 seconds down. Keeping the legs moving. Don't let the effort drop off. Find yourself comfortable in your upper body. 5, 3, 2, 1. Easy gear. Really easy. Take a drink. All right, next. It's going to be 2 minutes. The first minute, kind of moderate. Second minute, pick up the effort a little bit. So if you want to use your cadence as your gauge of effort, that's a good way to do it if you don't have any other metrics. So start at a cadence that feels comfortable, and then pick it up in the same gear for the second minute. All right, find the gear you want. 3, 2, 1, let's go. First minute, maybe hold back just a touch. So these are almost kind of like race winning efforts where you're just in a race, moving down the road, and all of a sudden you get to the last lap, or you get close to the time to do that last stretch to the finish line, and you need that intensity. Holding strong. Almost to that first minute. 3, 2, pick it up. Increase your cadence. Increase your gearing. Increase the intensity. Whatever you can do, just to make it a little harder. Forcing the body to have to work. Keep the shoulders down. Starting to sweat now. Feeling the effort taking its toll. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1. Easy gear. Take a drink. Woo, 1 minute. Towel off. You're going to need every drop in your water bottle tonight. So make sure that's your goal, to finish it by the end. All right, we're going up to 3 minutes. Again, start off at a pace that you can manage so you can build for the next 2 minutes after that first. Each minute, get a little more intense. Find your gear. Stay in that small ring. 3, 2, 1. Maybe this time I'm going to make it the first minute at a little easier gear, at a little higher cadence. Then with each minute, I'm going to shift to one harder gear. Maybe that's your strategy. Find the strategy that works for you, because we don't know everybody's fitness level. If you're just getting back on the bike, then you might need to just turn it down a little more. But we want to keep it intense tonight. Super focused. Finding that next minute. 1 minute down. Second minute. How are you going to bring the intensity up? Gearing, cadence, your RPE, your own level of intensity. Keep thinking about your form. I'm constantly conscious of how relaxed my hands are, where my elbows are, what my shoulders are doing. how my legs are spinning in circles, how my feet are flat. Last minute coming your way. Bring up the intensity. Find a good intensity level. It's going to work. If you know your zones, you may pick like zone 3 and go from the bottom to the top of it. I'm keeping my cadence high. And I've moved the intensity up about 20 watts, 25 for each minute. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Nice and easy. Take a drink. Now you're ready for the longer efforts. This is a 2-pager, just so you know. Next one's going to be 4 minutes. I kind of like that move through the gear changes. That worked nicely. So if you want to follow me in that, I'm going to do that again. Each minute, shift to a harder gear. Increase the intensity. Almost there. A minute's not a lot of time to recover. But here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Keep this first minute where you can manage it. Don't go busting out of the gate for this first minute, because it will bite you in the butt moving forward. You don't want that to happen. This is a really good lesson to learn on how to pace. So I'm coaching a 7th grader, giving him a training plan for mountain biking. And it's been super cool to watch his development as he's learning how to not jump out of the start. And he has, just in a month and a half, made some amazing strides. Shifting down or increasing your intensity. Use your metrics to help you gauge the pace. That's the beauty of having some kind of metric, even if it's just cadence. If you don't have any metrics and you have speed, you can use speed as your metric. It's also nice when you have those metrics and you haven't had them before. It's amazing how many people have no sense of what those metrics really mean. When they start using them, they're like, oh my God, I thought I was spinning my legs a lot faster. Plus you get to feel what each one of these intensities is like. A little bit harder. 2 minutes down. 2 minutes to go. It'll be cool to see the files too of those people that I'm coaching, because it'll be like a step ladder. It'll just keep going up and up and up if they're doing the workout properly. Stay with it. Know your levels of intensity. If you need to take a drink, go ahead and do it. It's a good way to learn how to get to that bottle. Last effort. Bringing it up even more. The legs should be really warm now. You're probably working more efficiently. Getting you going. 30 seconds. After the 5-minute effort, you're on the home stretch. Three, two, one. Easy gear. Take a drink. Recover. Towel off. Okay, 5 minutes. Your longest effort. So I know you can make it happen, because after that, the next couple will feel like nothing. So just like the last one, really build it. If you found a pattern that's working for you, keep doing it. I know I'm giving you a lot of freedom on this one. That's the good thing. All right, find that gear wherever you want to start. 3, 2, 1. 1 minute. So tonight, Randy is going to go do a sleep study. We think he might have sleep apnea. So he's going to go sleep in this strange room with all these probes attached to him. Maybe some of you have done a study like this to determine if he has sleep apnea. So it'll be interesting. I told him, I said, don't wake up in the middle of the night and like run into a wall or something because you have no idea where you are. Unfortunately, I hope he doesn't have to wear one of those crazy apparatuses. 1 minute down. Increase the intensity. Bring up the cadence or bring up the power. Bring up the gearing, whatever you're making as your ladder effort. You probably have it down to a science by now. I'm almost moving to page 2. But of course, you know, I have to kind of change it up on you in the last half from 4 to 1. Keeping the legs going. Almost at 2 minutes. Make that change. Bring it up a little more. 2 minutes in. Keep it solid. And of course, if you started too hard, you're not going to be able to hold the effort to the end. That is what's really good about power. It really helps you go through efforts like this. Gives you the data you need. To increase that intensity. Coming up on 3. Make that change. What's it going to be? Where are you going to go? Make it a little harder. You don't have to make it intensely harder. Still got 2 minutes left in the effort. If you feel like you need to stand up in any effort, you may. Just to loosen up the butt a bit. Coming up to the last minute. 3, 2, last minute. Let's go. Nice solid effort. Don't let the intensity drop. If you're breathing heavy, that's okay. That's what an effort like this should do. Almost there. Keep the legs moving. 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. Find that easy gear. Spin it out. The nice part, you're going to get 2 minutes. 2 minutes to recover. Take advantage of it. Towel off. Take a drink. You should be a little more than half of your bottle consumed. If you're there, then you're doing it right. And as I mentioned last week, start thinking about what nutritional products are good for you. Try your best to find ones that have the least amount of ingredients and the use of all real ingredients. Look for sweeteners. Look for fillers. Look for things that nobody knows how to pronounce. All right, so we're moving into 4 minutes. But as I said, I have to switch it up on you a bit. So these last 4, 3, 2, 1, I want you to get in your big ring and do each of them in your big ring in whatever way you can make it happen. Even if you stay in the same gear and just increase the intensity. So go ahead and find your big ring. Get in the gear you think you want, and let's go. Of course, if you're using power, you may be having a higher power than you had in your small ring. And of course, for anybody that's just getting back on the trainer, if you want to stay in your small ring for the second half, you may. This is just to challenge you a little bit. Make you work a little harder. make you build some strength. And hopefully, you also learn that being in your big ring all the time is not a good thing. Bringing up the intensity. Now you might find your intensity in the big ring being in smaller increments. Just because the gearing is forcing you to work a little harder. Again, those light feet are a must. You really got to stay light to get those legs to move around freely. Coming up to 2. 2 more to go. And then it's really going to get easy. 2 done. Bring it up a little more. Engage that core. Take a deep breath. Get tall in your torso. Feel your shoulders. Staying relaxed. Keep the legs light. I know you got 1:15 left in you. Almost to 3. 3, 2, last minute. Bring it up even more. Shift if you need to. Keep thinking positive thoughts. You're going to get through this. Only 30 seconds. Come on now. Work, 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 work. 15. Last 5. Don't let it drop. 2, 1. Good job. Down to your small ring. 1 minute easy. Take a drink. No rest for the weary in this workout. Okay, so 3 minutes. The same thing. Big ring. Build that ladder. Build that intensity. Because this is intense, this workout. See if you can get your heart rate, your breathing to come down in between. Even if you drop your cadence down super low, I don't care, it's recovery. That's what it's for, to get your heart rate down, get the effort down. All right, 3 minutes. Find that big ring and the gear you want to start with. Let's go. Keep it real on this first one. No busting out of the gate. Keep that first minute patient. In these later efforts, if you feel like you want to give yourself any time to stand up, you may do so. After the first minute, I'll give you every 30 seconds So if maybe you want to stand for 30, sit for 30, you're welcome to do so. Ten to go till the change. 3, 2, bringing it up. It's only 3 minutes. That'll feel like nothing now. See a few of you standing up. 15 down. I give you the 30 mark for sure. 30 down. Stick with it. These last couple, this is when it counts right here. When you're tired and you want to quit, you got to keep on going. Two minutes down. Let's go. I'm going to stand up for 30. Make sure you're in the right gear so you can get that intensity. $30 to go. Last 30 here. Come on, give it a strong effort. 15. If you're not sweating, you're not doing this right. 3, 2, woo, 1. Nice job. 1 minute easy. You only have 3 minutes of intensity left. Woo. Nice. I'm inspired by this workout. Hopefully you're feeling good at this point. So that means this last 2 minute and last 1 minute are going to be your best efforts of the night. You know the drill. Make sure you take a good drink of water before we get ready. Again in the big ring. Find that big ring. Find your gear. Let's go. Only 2 minutes. Maybe you want to make that first minute a little harder than you have for the last efforts. Since it is only 2 minutes. Then you're going to make that last minute of this 2 minute effort a really strong one. Time went super fast tonight. I'll do the same for this last minute. If you want to stand up, I'll give you every 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Last minute. Keep the effort high. 15 down. $30 down. Just 30 seconds. Last 15. Come on, come on, come on. 3, 2, 1. Nice. Good job. You only have 1 more minute left. So make this last minute your best minute. I'll do the same. I'll do every 15 seconds. So if you want to stand up, sit down, you can make that determination. The only thing I ask is be in your big ring. Find that gear. It's going to work for a solid minute. Unless you want to shift every 15. You can just increase your intensity. But I'd like to see you do a full minute of all out. All right, find your big ring. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Give it to me all. Everything you got. Whatever you have left. Make it solid. 15 down. What's 45 seconds? Nothing. We got this. Everybody's finishing strong. 30 down. Keeping the legs moving. You're going to be so happy when I say we're done. 15 left. Push it out, push it out, push it out. Hard as you can go. Make yourself fast. 3, 2, 1. Great. Great job, everybody. Easy gear. Small ring. Spin it out. And then we'll close it out with a few little efforts. But just let your heart rate start to come down. Spin the legs in an easy gear. Finish up. What's in your bottle? So I think the title of this workout is appropriate because that was intense. But it'll be fun. If you guys are uploading your data to Garmin Connect, Strava, Wahoo, Training Peaks, go and look at your data. Don't just say you have this data. Go look at it, and you'll notice those blocks of time that I was talking about. Most programs, you can go and highlight sections and see what you were doing. So maybe go to that 5-minute effort in the middle and see what kind of data you held for 5 minutes. What kind of speed, if you have speed. What kind of cadence, if you have cadence. What kind of power, what your heart rate was doing. It's really good to start looking at that data, especially on the trainer, because you're in such a focused environment. It's a good way to really start to understand how that information translates to what you do outside. All right, let's give you 1 more minute just to spin it. And then we're going to kind of get the legs feeling light again. And I do these these light focused endings, because I really want you, when you start to ride outside, I want you to do the same thing out there. Try to find a time when you're in a pace line, maybe when you're by yourself on a nice flat stretch, and start to learn how to use less musculature. So you're not having to work the legs as hard. You can relax, but still keep the legs spinning. So you should be in your easiest gear in the small ring in the front. I want you to shift to one harder gear, just to give you a little bit of resistance under your feet. Bring your cadence to about 100. But I want you to get to 100. And as you've heard me say 1,000 times before, I don't want you feeling the sole of your shoe under your foot. And how that happens is you get your feet light. In a way, it's almost like you're pulling your feet off of the pedal, if that makes sense. Feeling the tops of your shoes touching your feet. Just allow that to spin. It'll actually start feeling good when you allow it to happen in a light way. Now bring your cadence down to 95. And if you don't have a cadence sensor, you can use my legs. I'm going to dial right into the cadence. That's the other thing that I want you to focus on. Can you hold a 95 cadence and make it say 95 the entire time? If your legs are light and you're just spinning them, you should be able to dial that cadence in without it jumping from 98 to 91 to 97. Dial it in to 95, really focus on it. Control, it's learning about control and pedaling evenly. If you're pushing with one leg harder than the other, it won't happen. Bring it down to 90. We're getting closer to be done. This one required a little longer cool down because we pushed you so much harder. The body needs more recovery. And just like always, at the end, when you get off the bike, you should definitely be getting in your recovery source and some dinner or something, because you used energy. I know some computers give you a calorie count. If you don't put the right data in the computer, those calorie counters are not so accurate. A lot of times you need to have heart rate data and the weight and height and all those other things in the computer. So bring it down to 85. This will be our last minute. Just enough. At this point, you should have stopped sweating for the most part. Your breathing should have changed dramatically. Your heart rate should be coming down if you have a monitor. If not, you can feel it, because before you might have been breathing heavily. All that data tells us that we're recovering. Recognize those signs, because you can use them at other times. Looks as like this intensity is a wrap. Nice work, everybody. Woo! That one was a sweater, as I say. Wonder what kind of sweater you wore. Woo, yeah, I like it.